On the night of June 13, 2025, Israel launched a coordinated strike against Iran. Military targets, strategic facilities, and nuclear sites were hit. Among them was the Natanz nuclear facility, considered the heart of Iran's uranium enrichment program. The site was severely damaged. Generals and scientists were killed. But this war didn't start yesterday. It began over a decade ago, in silence, without explosions, with a simple USB stick. In 2010, a computer virus was discovered by accident in Iran. It didn't steal data. It didn't display messages. It didn't demand ransoms. It was silent, precise, surgical. And what it did was unprecedented. This virus targeted machines, not files, not photos, physical ones, invisible to the human eye. It changed industrial commands without engineers ever noticing. For months, no one knew. Until one day, deep inside a nuclear facility in Iran, everything began to fail. What was discovered later sounded like science fiction. The first military cyber attack in modern history. An invisible weapon, possibly created by two allied governments. Its name was Stuxnet, and it forever changed the future of warfare. This is the story of how a silent line of code went where no soldier ever could. How a weapon made of bytes managed to sabotage a real nuclear program. And how, ever since, no war has ever been the same. And it all started with a USB stick. Since the late 1990s, Iran had been developing a controversial nuclear program. Officials claimed it was for energy purposes, but many countries suspected otherwise. In Natanz, an underground facility housed hundreds of centrifuges, sophisticated machines designed to enrich uranium. These centrifuges were essential and also the weakest point. But physically attacking that facility would have been seen as an act of war. The world wasn't ready for that. Another solution was needed, invisible, silent. One that would look like an accident. Officially, no one knows who created Stuxnet, but experts believe the virus was developed by two allies with unique capabilities, the United States and Israel. The secret operation had a code name, Olympic Games. Its target was clear: sabotage Iran's nuclear program without leaving a trace. To do that, an ordinary virus wouldn't be enough. Something entirely new had to be created. Stuxnet was written in rare programming languages. It included modules for espionage, sabotage, and chained infection. It was so complex, many believe it took years to build. The Natanz nuclear facilities were isolated from the internet. A regular virus couldn't get in. But the creators of Stuxnet knew that, so they used a simple weapon, a USB stick. This is where Farid, a fictional name, comes in. A systems technician hired by a subcontracted company to inspect equipment in a secondary wing of the facility. 2 days earlier, as he left work, Farid was approached in a parking lot by a woman who seemed in a hurry. She carried a backpack and held a phone. "Your son left this on the school bus. He said it was important," she told him, handing over a small USB drive. Surprised, Farid thanked her and put it in his pocket. The next day, during routine maintenance, he brought his tools to one of the technical rooms. He needed to update a control panel's firmware. He grabbed the first USB he had in his coat. It was that one, the one from the unknown woman. The tool opened. The software ran. Everything looked normal. But what he didn't know was that at that very moment, a digital weapon was crossing the system's security layers. That's how it happened. Without knowing it, Farid brought Stuxnet inside the facility. And from that moment on, the countdown had begun. Stuxnet was designed to attack a very specific type of machine, the IR-1 centrifuges used in Natanz. Once inside the system, it silently altered the speed of those machines. It made them speed up and slow down in erratic cycles until they broke. But here's the genius part. While it caused damage, Stuxnet displayed fake data on the engineers' monitors. It looked like everything was working normally. No alerts, no alarms, just unexplained failures, one after another. It's estimated that Stuxnet destroyed around 1,000 centrifuges without any engineer realizing what was happening. Stuxnet could have continued for years, but in 2010, something went wrong. At a cybersecurity firm in Belarus, an analyst noticed strange behavior on a client's computer. The virus had spread by accident. Instead of staying confined to Iran, Stuxnet began to appear in companies and civilian systems. That's how the world found out it existed. And specialists were stunned by the code's sophistication. Nothing like it had ever been seen before. After Stuxnet, nothing was the same. The world realized the battlefield had changed. Now, a war could be waged without bullets, without soldiers, without borders. Stuxnet opened the door to a new era, cyber warfare. Since then, governments all over the world have created departments specialized in cyber defense and cyber attack. Power grids, hospitals, airports, banks, everything became a potential target. Stuxnet was never officially claimed by any country, but its impact was real, and it's still growing. Stuxnet showed the world a new kind of weapon, a silent one, precise, almost invisible. It was a turning point, a digital shadow that changed the way conflicts are fought. Stuxnet revealed to the world a new kind of weapon, silent, precise, and almost invisible. But today, that weapon no longer stands alone, because the invisible war has become visible, and what began with code ended with missiles. We must ask ourselves, what will be the next weapon, and will anyone see it coming?